Live. I'm probably live right now, and I am alive. I'm living. So we're gonna just get started setting up this dot. We're changing string gauges, cleaning the frets, cleaning the fingerboard, doing my usual full Monty, what I call full Monty setup. My unannounced live streams. I don't schedule them because I work, and I still have a job, that sort of thing. Let's just get started. So the gentleman who owns this beautiful instrument has been a good friend of mine and a client of mine for quite some time. I've worked on many of his guitars. He's a very, very cool dude, and he's also the reason that we're able to have some pretty acclaimed musicians play in our little corner of the world. Boy, these are heavy strings. Somebody like playing them heavy. Damn, that thing's like a piece of cable. There we go. Like a 24 gauge plain string. Amazing. But now this gentleman who owns this guitar, he's a big dude. He's very powerful dude. He's very, I mean, you can imagine he's a big dude. Yeah, Preston, good afternoon. I hope you're feeling well and doing well. I'm doing good. Sent the nicotine machine home today, so I'm really happy to see that one go home. The guy was pretty astonished at how different that guitar looked now that it doesn't have nicotine all over. I guess it's not nicotine, it's tar, but we'll just call it nicotine for the sake of argument, because we all know what it is.
Oh, I always think you're yelling at me. You're doing a podcast. Where the hell is he?
Yeah. I talk to myself a lot, Mike. Okay. I think my boss worries about me. He might think I'm a little nuts. He knows I'm a little nuts. Doing good. Great. Good to hear it. Yeah, I'm so lucky to get to work with guys like that. Lucky to have... Well, that's interesting. What is the heck is that? Okay. Huh. This is... Oh. Okay. It's a little keeper. I have yet to see one of these. That's kind of cool. So that... Okay, so... But it's not holding its place in there, but that's cool. I guess this is an Epiphone guitar, and they put these little keeper rings in these saddles pieces. So that's pretty cool. I guess as long as they stay put. Now I gotta mess with this. Boop. Hold on. I'll put this back in. I was able to get it in there really easy. Okay, so that's in there, and I'm gonna take a piece of tape and make sure that don't fall out of there. Camellia, hello. That's an interesting little part. I've never seen that before on any tailpiece or saddle I've ever worked on. The one on this side is actually pressed in there. It's staying put. So I could probably do the same. We'll just keep it from falling out of there. That's pretty safe. All right. Where do I start? Let's clean this thing up. I'm going to start with the fingerboard. we'll just do the normal everyday ritual cleaning on this thing. But before I do that, I'm also going to straighten out the neck, because I want to start on a level playing field. I'm changing string gauges on this guitar, and might as well just start out with the neck being flat, so that I've got a level playing field to start with, and let the strings do their job, and then I can make the truss rod do its job, right? That's my method to my madness. And it's not, you know, terribly often that I am faced with changing string gauges on an instrument. Most guys stick with what they know, but again, this instrument was played by the owner's brother, and he liked the big old heavy, and his brother's bigger than he is. These dudes, there ain't no joke. Farm boys, let me tell you. I think the gentleman who owns this, I think he owns a construction business in our neck of the woods. I think, I'm not 100% certain. And this dude that owns this guitar is one badass guitar player. I promise. I hope maybe when he comes in to pick up his instruments, he's got 3 guitars here right now that I've been in the process of working on. I hope that maybe I can talk him into playing for y'all. That would be something that would be a very special treat for me and for anybody who gets to listen. Oh, and check this out. I have this little bit left over from the nicotine guitar, because there were a couple of spots still, after I buffed it out, there were a couple of spots on it that I saw nicotine stains on, so I had to go back and do that. So, boy, if that don't make you quit smoking, boy, that's some nasty stuff. I'm using my favorite polishing compound for fret polishing. And I'll tell you, I used to use the sandpaper, and I know if you've watched my channel for any time at all, you've watched me spend hours polishing frets. Not anymore. This stuff does the trick, man. It's really killer. Semi-chrome polish. I need to get it sponsored by those guys. All right, let's put the camera up here so you can watch these frets and this fretboard come back to life. I know this happens. I do this all the time. This is boring shit if you watch my channel at all. And I want to say thanks to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Have a really good time. I've been finding some other very, very interesting and, what do I want to say? Some very interesting channels that I've recently been exposed to, and been subscribing up to all of them. Now these frets are really well worn. That's one fret and all that stuff came off of it, so this is going to take me a little more time than the usual bloop, 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 each fret, you know. You can whip through them. And I'm also going to go ahead and hit this pickup, because there's guck on the pickup. We'll clean all that off of there. I know you probably can't. Oh yeah, you can see me cleaning the pickups. Okay, we'll leave that yucky for a little bit here. All right, so these frets, this is gonna take me a little bit longer, because these frets are really well oxidized. They've got a nice thick coating of, I don't know if it's DNA, oxidation, pure air from the Alps of Oregon. You know, who knows? If you've never been to the Alps of Oregon, don't bother. It sucks here. No. We try and keep our little place in this corner of the world a secret. Not many people would come here because it's like in the middle of nowhere, really. There's no industry, there's no nightlife, just the 18 bars in town here. All right. There's no live music. By the way, I got to see Greg Koch play right here in my own backyard a couple months ago. Got to meet him. Really cool dude. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Are you looking for Epiphone? See if your Epiphone. Oh, the saddle pieces. Yeah, that was interesting. I had never seen those before. I work on a lot of Epiphone guitars also. They've definitely picked up where Gibson left off by making affordable instruments for people, and their quality is not half bad. Seeing one little ding. Nah, that's all right. That's not going to cause any issue. Thought there might have been like this that they got a string cut in the fret, but it just looks like it. Boy, elbow grease. I feel like I've been doing this motion for 3 weeks. After cleaning all that nicotine off of that casino. 'Tis the season for Epiphones. We just sold a Epiphone Zenith that was in our shop for less than well, it was about 24 hours, I guess. A guy came in and bought it. We only got to let one person actually see the thing. We didn't even get to hang it up so it could look cool for our usual suspects that come in. That was kind of a bummer, but the guy that owns it is sure digging that guitar. Although he took it home a couple days ago and he came back in yesterday and he's thinking he wants to put a lighter gauge string on there, which we didn't do anything with the strings on that guitar, so I don't have a clue what gauge strings are on it. I didn't measure them, or maybe I did. Maybe it had 12s on there. I'm not sure. And I'm trying to take a look at the chat. Hope everybody's doing good out there, having a really great day. I got to stay on task here just because not much time left in the day today. My work day, you want to call it work. Calling it work is kind of funny to me, but I say that all the time, but it's true. I got to go someplace, fix really cool guitars, play really cool guitars, and get paid for it. That sucks. And I got to work with guys like my boss, Mike, who just came over, checked on me because I was talking to myself, right? And I get to work with cool dudes like that. And I said work again. It's not. I get to be vacation with guys like that. Holiday. Let's call it holiday. I'm going on holiday. All right, those look a lot better. I'm gonna hit them again here with the back side of this. I want to go over these. These things are pretty gnarly. Boy, those look so much better. Isn't that cool? You know, when you change strings on your guitar, and if your frets are looking a little dull, I mean, get a bottle of this stuff and use it. You can see that, and there are a lot of professional techs that will say the same thing. Go ahead and clean them. It's really cool, and usually, you know, even if it's a guitar that you play all the time, it will feel better. It will. Just to have those frets cleaned. Okay. Now we're going to clean off the neck. Get all the DNA and guck off the... Oh, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I want to keep the simple green out of the pickup. Let me check. Well, I'm down here looking for... Let's see. Great Vanzini. Hello, brother. Greg. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Rosewood. Yeah. Well, give me a moment here, Vanzini, Sir Lars, and we will see what this stuff really looks like. And just spraying that, this guitar has been played a lot. The two guys that kind of, the brothers, dude, they are, holy smokes. And again, I hope that when the gentleman who owns this guitar comes in to pick it up, I hope that I might be able to talk him in to playing a little bit. Even if he's cold-blooded and hasn't warmed up at all and all that, man alive. He opened for Greg Koch, by the way. He was the opening act for the Greg Koch show here, and he's very specialized in blues-oriented music, blues and bluegrass. Guy's just a smoking hot guitar player. And his daughter is following in his footsteps, much like I wish mine had, but she's becoming a very talented young performer, and she gets a lot of experience. She plays live shows at this point. I think she's maybe 16. Incredibly talented young lady. And, you know, I say that, I'm not a big fan of listening to guys play the blues. I don't go to blues clubs. Not that I don't like the form of music, but I don't enjoy listening to it, to be honest. I'm the guy that would sit in the back of the room with his arms crossed thinking, oh, I could do that, you know. I got other stuff I could do if somebody's playing blues, I guess, is what it comes down to. Stuff that I would enjoy doing more. And I support the form of music, don't get me wrong. But I support anybody who plays live music and gets paid for it. People who play for free, unless it's for a charity event, not a real big fan of that. They ruin the music scenes all over the planet for people who are good musicians, because places won't pay them to play because other people play for free. Usually it's because they're not very good. I think, you know, again, honesty will get you hated, right? Honesty will get you hated. Let's see. Ed, what's happening? Good to see you, brother. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking real good. I've got to get all the simple green off this thing before it... Simple green, if you use it, you got to be really careful to get the stuff off of the guitar completely, because it will leave, it'll penetrate the finish ultimately. This guitar, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe it is likely polyester. It's a polyester finish. Oh, look at that. We got a sticky sticker on the back of this. So, and we got this going on. I'll get rid of all that. We'll clean that up for him. Grover machine heads, that's cool. I don't know if y'all can see that. We got Grover machine heads over there. Looking nice. Now, you all know how much I despise black guitars. Now, see, right here on the back of this guitar, you can see that simple green. Now, if I had ignored that, it would leave, definitely leave a mark, or now you would know it was there. So, got to be real careful if you use that stuff to wipe it all off of the guitar while it's still wet. All right, just fair warning. So make sure to get your little cutaways and get all that stuff out of there. All right. Now we'll clean this guitar once I'm done treating the neck. So I know, Lars, you said that the rosewood looks a little weird. Well, let's see what it really looks like. Are you ready? I think I've let it sit long enough. I'm not seeing any residue from the simple green. Frets look good. Let's see if I see anything else. Here we go. Let's see what this grain of this wood looks like. My favorite little squirt bottle. Oh, okay, and a paper towel. Oh, and guys, today, let's see. Yeah, I hate black. No, I don't hate anything. I do not like black guitars. Today, I got to show a youngster the first chord he ever played on a guitar. Now, I've done that many times, but this youngster, He was just out riding his skateboard, saw a music store, and decided he wanted to play guitar. He was 13, or he is 13, and we have an acoustic guitar sitting here that he might end up with if he shows a little initiative. I'm not just going to give it to him. I don't just do that. You have to earn something in my world. I don't just give stuff to somebody who I don't feel has applied themselves. But this young kid, his idea of just stopping in a music store to check out what's going on, and he wants to play guitar. I guess he has a bass. He said he has a bass at home. Maybe his brother has a bass or something. I don't know. But we shall see. He might be the next Stevie Ray Vaughan, and no one would know if we didn't give him an opportunity, right? No one would know. How many great guitar players aren't guitar players? Such an amazing instrument. There we go. The neck is as well treated as I can get it. Now let's clean off the frets and we'll see what all of our hard work turns out like. Oh boy. How's that wood look now, Lars? Does that look a little bit more like rosewood? Look at that. There we go. I'll get you down here in the thick of it. Get you a little closer. How's that wood look now? A little more appropriate, a little more like rosewood. I'm pretty sure this is Indian rosewood. Okay. Now, let me see here. Whoop. What was that? Oh, it was a knob. Cool. Yeah, it was time for a new rag. I want to make sure I got a nice clean rag here. And I do. What do you think? Richard, Mr. Falcro. Hey, brother. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Are you guys having the same beautiful weather that we are? I don't know what the temperature is outside right now. Let me check. Where is it? Oh, we're currently at 39 and a little bit windy. It says mostly cloudy. Let me double check that. What is that? Come on. Oh, I'm streaming. It doesn't want to do it. Okay. Well, we'll forget about that. All right. Let's get back down here where get in the business. Here we go. So now that I've got the fingerboard cleaned, I'm going to level it, and I think they're about right. Yeah, usually 31. Oh, Ed, getting cool over there. All right. Yeah, I heard something about it being like 50 degrees over that way today. That's awesome. Okay. Let's straighten up the neck real quick. It's got a pretty good bow to it right now, so let's fix that. Oh, I need to get a shorter hex key. There we go. So it's kind of flat, or I'm sorry, it's got an under bow in it, so we want to tighten this thing. All right, cinch it up. Now you might ask why I would be doing this. And I'll explain myself here in a minute when I'm done doing the really super technical, hard science shit.
Don't be polite around here, man. You'll
boy, this neck is really flat. That's awesome. Wow. This is a nice neck. This is sweet. This is a really nice neck. I can tell you right now. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you live in the northern part of the hemisphere, definitely 31 isn't bad. Of course, you know, you might have 3 days of, you know, weather temperatures above 50, right? My polish. Alright, so now I'm going to knock the fingerprints off of this thing, only so that I can put more fingerprints on it. This is interesting. Huh, well, I'm going to leave that where it is. Now we're changing it from, literally, the strings that were on this were 13 gauge electric, on an electric guitar. Yes, he played 13 gauge. So he was very much in the line of playing like Stevie Ray Vaughan. And it would have been cool to see him and Stevie Ray Vaughan play guitar together, because both of those dudes, Stevie and the gentleman who was playing this guitar, they're both badasses. You know, and I'm highly touting the guy that owns this guitar and his brother who had it set up this way. But it sounds like the gentleman who owns this guitar got it back because he might be doing some more electric type gigs, and he wanted to play his Dot. You know, it's interesting because you know, I talk about these guys, and all due respect, they are fantastic musicians, and the contributing to our music scene, the community with their efforts and all. This is just super cool guys. And I got to speak with the owner of this guitar this morning on the phone, which I think he's a very, very busy person. So I hate calling him. I don't hate anything. I don't like calling him because I don't like bothering him, because I don't think he likes to be interrupted when he's working. But he didn't answer his phone, but he called me back right about lunchtime, and had a couple questions about what he wanted to do on the Gibson here that I have here that's his, which we're putting a new saddle in that one. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now, the moment I touch this, it will have fingerprints on it, so I'm using my rag, right, to flip it over, and we'll clean the sides. Let me get some more. Oh, I dropped my polish on the floor. Good job, Marshall. Already got fingerprints on the neck. Alright, so let's take a look at this thing. It's got some good buckle rash in it. He didn't ask me to bring this thing back to new. We've done that on a couple of his guitars. I just did it on a Yamaha acoustic that I had to fill a big old divot in the top. Had to fix the neck. Had to fix another divot on the binding. It was right where your elbow touched the binding. It was really, couldn't have been dinged in a worse spot, really. Anywhere else we would have left it alone probably, but and we really brought that one back to life, and had to do a lot of restoration work on it. Alright, so that sticky sticker thing came off of it. Some stuff right there, which, let's see.
Run his TV through it, maybe get, you know, I don't know, but he just got insulation for the house. It was 10 grand, so he looked at me and said, how much is the consulting fee? And I kind of laughed and said, whatever it is, it'll be reasonable. I didn't want him to shoot me, but I'm going to put him on the phone.
Now,
Are you having a service.
I'd tell you what I just used on this guitar to clean that. There was a sticker right there on the neck. I'd tell you what I used on it, but a lot of you would shit your pants. And it's astonishing what that specific stuff will do. If you saw what I used, raise your hand. Mitch, hello, man. Good to see you again. Oh, excellent, dude. Oh, Mitch, you're going to love that stuff. That was one of the coolest things I've ever found about Reaper was the extensions. In particular, the auto color function, man, for keeping a, you know, I don't know if you're doing any, and I can talk about this right now. This is all about, I don't know if you're doing any like massive productions where you're recording multiple different instruments and things like that. I don't know how much of that you do. I would highly encourage everyone to do that because it gets really fun. You start getting 50 or 60 tracks on a rock tune, but the auto color thing, man, that is amazing because you can see visually where all your guitars are, and all you got to do is type git or guitar. If you got a vocal, all you got to type is VOC, and you tell it to say, anytime I type VOC, turn that track this color. It is awesome. It keeps all your drums and everything all together. And you can even have specific colors for specific drums. So I don't know if you've messed with that at all yet, Mitch, but dude, I'm telling you, that is, for me, it was an organizing miracle. I'm like, God, my bank account isn't even that organized. Believe me, I'm a butt face when it comes to my bank account. I keep tabs on that. In fact, check this out. Here's a little story for you. Over here, my XLR mic, even on. Oh, cool. Excellent. Cool. So do you have a like a large diaphragm condenser mic that you're switching to? Or, oh, you were using a wireless the other day, it seems like, something like that. I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you know, our friend and brother in arms, the Falcro, I think he is also using the auto color function on it, because you look at his or my projects, and they're just super organized with respect to color. It's nice to have a visual reference versus just you have to read that little teeny typewriter typing print. Okay, we're good. We're clean. We got our tape on here. Time to take this tape off. Because they got these little keeper rings in here. Again, this is the first one I've ever seen that on. Oop. Oh boy, and it tried to fall out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the... There we go. This side is awful tight. I hope that's not too tall. We'll see what happens here. Alright, so we're going to use a custom set of strings. Now, ultimately, this is a James Hetfield, sorry. This is a James Hetfield set. So, 50, 38, 28, 18, plain, 14, and 11. If you look up the James Hetfield signature Ernie Ball strings, that is what they are. So pretty big, you know, for an electric guitar, these are pretty big strings, as it were. Well, that's what I think. I don't use strings this heavy on any of my instruments, but I am also not even close to as big as this dude is. So, And yes, I did put that on correctly because I remember those two were all the way forward. I'm hoping I don't have to move them any further, because if I do, I got nothing left. I can't move that forward at all. So I'm hoping I have to move it backwards. Hoping. Cool, I'm gonna have to raise that one. Cool, so I'm gonna have to get my screwdriver in there and raise that string. It's definitely too low. Oh, right on. Mitch, if you're at home, I'll tell you how to do it right now. Or if you're at your computer where your Reaper is set up. It is really easy. You literally go up to your extensions and you select auto color. Hang on. Let me see here. Hang on just a second. I can take a moment for this. It's pretty easy. Let me see. I have Reaper on my computer at work. It's vacation. No, it's holiday. It's holiday. Okay, cool. Give me a moment. I'll show you. Here's my badass computer, right? My little laptop. Go up to extensions, select auto color icon layout, right? You click on that, and I have all of these rules, right? And I'm going to make this window a little bit bigger so you can see all of this stuff. So Tom's is set to a specific purple color. If I type guitar, it sets it to green. So you go down here and you hit add rule, and this rule comes in. Where did my new rule go in? Where'd it go? Hang on here. Where'd my rule go? Is this? No. I should be able to click. I go here. Oh, there we go. It went right here because I was sitting here. So if I go to track, rule type, and I think I have to. Oh, here we go. Filter name. Let's just say booger. Okay, and then we go over here to color, and you click on that. You right click. You go set color, and we'll set booger to like a boogerish type color. Like we'll find a nice greenish booger color, right? That's pretty close, and we'll say okay. All right, so now if I go over here, insert a track, and type booger, it turns green. Pretty darn cool, eh? Now if I go here and type Tom and hit enter, oh wait, I gotta type Tom's. Let's do Tom 1. No? Oh, you gotta have a space. Gotta be real specific. Let's just type vocal. There, it's yellow. So if I go down here and add another track, dude, this makes keeping your like a guitar left, right? Boom, it's green. Go here, type guitar right. It's green. You go here and you right click and you insert a new track, and you go guitar parent track. I don't type master and slave anymore because that's kind of boom, it's green. Now my guitar parent is now I know where all my guitars are. So ultimately, I hope you can see that. I know the visual is probably not very clear, but it's pretty dang cool. And you can take your time setting it up when you're building a project. And ultimately, it's really for when you're doing a multi-track project in Reaper. But dude, it is badass. There you go. All right, enough of that. I better stay busy here. So we're using a 28 for a D string, which I think on a normal acoustic they're usually a 24. And on a electric, usually a wound 22, I believe, for D. On a typical like 10 to 48 set. Whoop. Is that D? Let's see how close I am. I'm flat. There's D. Now the rest of them will be easy. Error. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna close Reaper. No. There we go. Yep. That's a pretty cool little function. I mean, if you're only working with 8 or so tracks, that's one thing. 1, 2, 3. But I have projects that have 60 or 70 tracks, and you know, you start getting into producing a song and doing tons of vocals and stuff. Boy, the tracks can add up in a short amount of time. All right, we got our 14 gauge for our V string. Apparently this is what James Hetfield uses on his guitars. At least he did at some point in time. Now, if I was James Hetfield, I tell you what, unless I was home alone, I would probably, and broke a string on one of my favorite guitars, I'd probably never put a guitar string on again. There we go. Probably never put a string on a guitar again. I can't get it to associate. Oh, you got to go down when you. I forgot to show you that part. I got you. I know what's going on. That's something that I forgot to tell you about. In that window, hang on. In the extensions window, let's see. Go to extensions. You go to auto color layout. When you go to options, click on enable auto track coloring. There you go. Go to options down at the bottom of that window and enable auto track coloring, and it will do it. One, two, three. Woo! Alright, you little booger eater. The other thing is that you start doing the auto color thing, and most of your projects, your projects will start looking familiar. You gotta go?
Yeah, are you okay?
Last
half hour?
I'm fine.
All right.
I think I can. Now I can sell something.
All right, exactly. I won't get in the way. I'll see you in a little while. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed. What time is it? It's after
5:30.
Let's go home.
So you got a half hour.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I do. And it will.
It will. See you later.
All right. So let's stretch these boogers. And now I got the word booger stuck in my brain. Boogers are funny. The word booger itself is pretty funny. Now, Stretching, stretching. I ain't nice about it, am I? Pretty mean. Yeah, wipe my fingerprints. Fingerprints all over the guitar. There's a black guitar for you. I gotta wash the side. I gotta clean the sides of this thing too. I better do that real quick before I forget. Alright. Yeah. You bet, Mitch. I love helping people with stuff like that. It makes me feel good. Well, that knob is loose. Let's fix that. Oh boy, I hope that ain't glued on there. Oh boy. I hope that's not glued on there. It's kind of a small knob. I hope this thing will work. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh no. Come off of there. Come off of there. Oh no. Please don't. Okay, here it comes. There it goes. Okay. Whew. Doggone it. That was a little worrisome. Okay, so here's what I got to do with this one. Okay, so it's starting to get tight. Okay. So I'm gonna my little give that a little. There we go. There we go. That one feels good and snug. That one's loose too. That might be the knob. Ah, shucks, it is. Okay. Okay. You're gonna watch me do something I do not like doing on guitars. This one is really tight, so I'm gonna give it a little squeeze. Just a teeny one, right? Now that's a tone control. And the knobs, none of them are set to 0 properly, so I'm going to tighten all these knobs up. So let's just go ahead and pull them all off of here. We'll get all this stuff tightened up so that when he goes to turn his volume knob, it doesn't spin around on him and break the wire inside a semi-hollow guitar. It's like one of the most fun things to work on is to replace a volume pot in a semi-hollow guitar, because it ain't for the weak of mind. I'll just say that. There we go. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure all of these pots are snug. Yeah. We don't want these things spinning around. Now the right thing to do here would really be to put lock washers underneath these, because they probably do not have lock washers on them. Nope. Okay, let's stop stripping that nut out. so they're all snugging up nicely. Okay, now turn them all to zero. All to zero. Now this one I need to spread a little bit. I don't know how well you guys could see what I was doing there. My cameraman was probably drinking again. So I have this little screwdriver that I've made. And it is very sharp. I use it as a chisel oftentimes for doing a little bit of chiseling work in a slot for a saddle on an acoustic guitar. But this knob was a little bit loose. Now please don't do what I'm doing right now on your own guitar. Unless you are proud of yourself breaking your stems on those. Now I'm being very careful. I'm just moving it back and forth a little bit. I'm going to go in from the side here so I can get a little bit more leverage. Okay, I can see it separating a little bit better. Now this is a good way to break a volume pot or a tone pot. So here's what I'm going to do. Again, I've done this a bunch of times. Just no experience. If you don't have it, you need it, right? There we go. Now I can see that that thing has moved ever so slightly. So I'm turning them all to zero. And I'm going to set my tone pot. Let's see how these tone pots line up here. If I go to zero and zero, okay, so they're aligned properly. I'm going to set this at zero and point it right at the guitar player, the 0 point. There we go. That one feels nice and tight. And we're going to go with this second tone pot, and I want to make that alignment exactly the same. There's nothing worse than having somebody work on your guitar and you get it back and the knobs are not on properly. That annoys the Jesus out of me. Now it's tight. Look at that. Let's see, was this one loose also? I'm going to see. Boom. Yeah. Unfortunately, the interior of this knob has been stripped out. Let's see. Or it got put on a little bit cattywampus. Anybody know what cattywampus means? I'd like to know. Okay. Yeah, the interior of this is a little bit stripped out. And I've already spread that a little bit, so I'm going to see if I can't get a little more out of it. I'm being greedy. Tap on this. Okay, now let's try a little bit heavier influence. You gotta be careful doing this stuff, because man, you might just see one of these snap off and see me screaming, pissed off. You might see me angry today. Okay, boom. There we go. I just saw that one bend and I'm like, done. That ain't moving anymore. It ain't doing it. Boom. I said boom again. I shouldn't say boom. It bugs me when people say boom. Just sounds goofy. There we go. Now we are all dialed in. Look at that. Whew. Got the knobs all fixed. Knobsosis. Okay. So there's that. Let's tighten this up while we're at it. Use my old favorite tool, Jack the Gripper, right? I need to rewrite that on there. Or carve off. What I'll do is I'll take my my soldering gun and I'll burn it in there. Yep, that was definitely loose. With these, you want to be careful because the threads are usually pretty thin. You don't want to over tighten those. And let's hang on here. I gotta get my. There you are. We're gonna. I know you can barely hear me. It sounds like I'm miles and miles and miles away. We're gonna clean this output jack. And unfortunately, with these, they're so hard to get at. You know, I would love to shoot some contact cleaner down in those, but they're so hard to get at that sometimes it doesn't make economic sense. All right. It takes a lot of time to get those pots out of the guitar. And this again is a horn cleaner for like a trumpet, or they use this to clean parts of horns. I've never played a horn. I wouldn't know the first thing about it. I have to play one once in a while. I can usually make a saxophone make some brutal noise. Or a trumpet. I can make a trumpet make some brutal noise too. But that's just to make sure that if I fix one that it works. I have to have somebody that can actually play one, really test it. Alright? And that's one cool thing about knowing some of the school teachers around here, is that often I can just, you know, call somebody and, hey, you know a kid who wants to come down and play some trumpet? They're always happy if somebody wants them to play, because they get their parents yelling at them all the time, shut up, lock up, right? So listening to somebody learn to play a wind instrument is brutal. Okay, so now we've gotten all the string change and all that stuff done. We're going to check the neck relief first. We'll see what happens with the neck relief. Here we go. Hopefully you could see what I was doing there. If not, I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry. My camera guy is drunk all the time. He just cannot keep up with my moves. Right. Whew. You know, and it's amazing. Alright. So the neck is way too flat. So we need to loosen the truss rod, which is great. I'm glad about that. I did right by tightening it. And the truss rod works great. I'm going to give it about a half a turn. Alright, oops, I know my camera guy again. He drinks a lot, you guys. Wow. Epiphone, you guys did a magnificent job on this guitar. This is a good neck. These Grover machine heads are killer. Very accurate. I gotta check the time. Okay, I got about 15 minutes left here today. Okay, so let's check our string action now. Let's make sure our string action is proper. I'm gonna measure it at the 12th fret. We're currently just a little bit low, and he likes his action a little bit high. And we're definitely a little bit low on the treble side, which is awesome. Have the proper size screwdriver. Here we go. We're going to raise the string action a tad. I want to go 6/64 on the bass side, and I'm going to go 5/64 on the treble side. Got to get the right side of my measuring wand here. Now we're at 6/64. Man, I'm good. Damn. That's 4.5. Let's get it to 5. He wants a little higher string action. He's a real strong player, and he likes to work for it. That looks good. Hot damn. All right, let's check our intonation. Oh, you know, before I do that, might as well do that while I'm here. The pickups are way too close. Way too close. Let's lower these. That kills your sustain. Don't put your pickups real close to your strings, guys. You got magnets in there and they'll grab that string and stop it from spinning. Now I measure from the top of the pole piece, not from the flat spot on these most of the time, because that's still magnetic and it's as close to the string as you can get. So I'm looking for 4/32. I know it's, I don't know, math is tough. 4/32, almost there. And I'm going to lower this side a little bit too. Oh, that was, okay, there we go. That just settled. That's nice. I was like, oh crap, it just fell off the spring, but it didn't. There must have been something holding that string up in there, or that pickup inside there. There we go. Now I'm looking for 3/32 over here. I nailed it. That one's just a tad bit high. I'm going to move that about that much. That's where my conscience hurts. Perfect. And this one is a little bit, actually a little bit low. And knowing the guys who own this guitar or who played this guitar, they're very good players, and they have very good ears. And they may have adjusted the pickup that way to get the balance between the pickups correct. So I don't know, but we'll find out. I like to start, let me grab my Tom Peterson's. Right. Let's check our intonation. Let's see what's going on here. We'll get you here where I think you can see me doing the intonation, and you might still be able to see the tuner here. I'm not sure. Hopefully you can. I better get a guitar pick. I'm not going to play the thing yet. I'm not going to. Let's see. I'm going to use the neck pickup. Leave everything. Whew. Raised the string action, didn't it? Yeah, that's dead on. Boy, I hope that. Boy, that's dead on. I might be out of work here, guys. A little bit sharp, man. That's what I'm hoping for on these top two strings. Let's see, so a little sharp, so we want to lengthen this. Move the saddle back a little bit. I'm going to move it ever so slightly more. I don't want to be wrong here. We got to have perfect pitch, right? We don't want the perfect pitch audience listeners being upset. Isn't that D note bugging you now? I'm still going to move it. I'm going to move it. I hope I didn't just move the wrong one. This is interesting the way these are lining up. It just looks a little weird to normal or what's usual. You know how they usually, the top 3 strings go slightly further back and then the D string is forward and this is weird. This looks strange. But this is life. There we go. Yes, and I'm being anal about this just because I know the guy who owns this guitar. Now, I treat every guitar like this. I want them as close as humanly possible. And forgive me for not checking the text or the chat. I gotta stay focused here, and I'll check the messages here in a moment. So we're sharp. That's good. I like that. That's good. I want the B and the E string to be sharp. Now the D string just ran out of room, so I may have to flip that saddle around. I'm gonna have to flip the saddle around. That's all right. And I'll do that later, probably tomorrow. Let's just hope this B string is sharp and not flat. Come on. I know, isn't that B note get? Yes, it's sharp. Yay! Now, I don't know if that thing's just sharp because it's moved over time, but it was an awful lot sharp, and the screw doesn't feel real tight. Still sharp. Won't be too sharp. So this saddle right here was in the polar opposite direction it should have been. And I may have to flip that saddle around too. I don't know. They may have put this bridge a little too close to the nut. I don't know if I have much more to go. I might. Let me check this G string. Can I get any more out of that? Nope, that's done. Let's check her. But it'll be close enough that it's still a little bit sharp. So still very sharp. I don't know why. Come on. There we go. And you know, making these adjustments, it's amazing how you know, the manufacturers know that screw is in a really bad spot to get your screwdriver into, yet they make the slot in that flathead screw like way too shallow on almost all of these. Man, I can hear that one's sharp. Many times you can't even hear. So, boy, yeah, unfortunately Epiphone put this this bridge too close to the nut. So the bottom two strings sounds pretty good. I mean, it's in tune. This is not intonated proper. All right. Now, I'm going to try and keep the volume down, but I got to check the electronics in this thing. And audio engineers complain because when I play my guitar on here, it's way too loud, right? So you might want to back your headphone volume off just a little bit. Oh, Brad! Oh, it's selling. Ah, dude. Ah, yeah. Yep, me too, man. I love semi or hollow bodies. This is a semi, of course. Yeah, flat black, semi hollow. Okay, those are great guitars too. Yeah, and you know, the fact that you just said that, I'm given the fact of what I'm seeing here, I'd have to reverse these two. I wonder if somebody did put that on backwards to where it was, because I can't get those far enough away. Alright, where's my... Oh, I gotta plug the guitar into the amplifier. Amateur hour. Alright, let's see what she sounds. Did I plug that all the way in? And I use like the cheapest guitar cables in the world at my bench, just because all of my expensive ones I sell. The guys around here buy good shit, right? pretty good. And it's in tune pretty good. And I just put strings on it like a half an hour ago. And I stretched them really good. And I intonated it and did all that stuff. Pretty damn solid guitar. And now you'll notice also that the pickups are really balanced. But what I did, I had to move the neck pickup away from the strings like a mile. They were almost touching the strings, and so now the pickups are nice and well balanced. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure why somebody would have had adjusted them. So I've got a little bit of work to do on the intonation still on this thing, but we'll get it. There's some Ted Nugent for you. One of the lamest rock stars who ever lived. A man who should shut his face. He should probably just shut up. And I don't tell many people to shut up, but that man should shut up. He has made an absolute ass of himself with respect to animals, women, and humans. Anyway, he played one of these things, so it must be a good guitar, right? I think he played a black one. Oh, and he played a Birdland also, right? Woohoo! There you go. Yeah. Does the trick, indeed. Oh, yeah, cool. That would be fun. So there you go. You got to see me do basically a whole setup on a guitar, and that's kind of the common amount of work that I talked way too much, and I did help somebody with some Reaper stuff, but I had time to do it, and you know, I enjoy helping people when I know I can do it. And I am working a little late today so that I could get this guitar done for this guy. I mean, it's like 10 minutes late. I said I'm working. I'm staying late on holiday. I have to speak with the accent to get the holiday sound so that I say, when I say holiday, I sound like I'm not on vacation. I'm on holiday. Okay. Yeah, this thing's pretty sweet, except for that it's shiny black. Everything outside of that's pretty cool. And I love joking about that. It's kind of like tying knots in your strings. I'll never stop bitching about that. Or leaving the fucking snark on your headstock while you're playing live. You dummy. Don't do that. It looks stupid. I think that's dumb. Okay, there you go. That's my opinion. I'll probably never get to watch any of you play live. I hope I do. I've gotten to watch Richard play live, literally live, and he didn't leave a snark on his headstock of his guitar. And it looked really super cool. Trites, thank you, brother. First, right. Well, hopefully you can get playing live. Dude, I got a gig. I got booked for a gig this Saturday, literally on Monday. Or Sunday. Good Lord. That was a surprise. We get to play a private party. That's going to be awesome. With the bass player I have never played a note with. We've been staying in close communication. He's letting me know how he's coming along and how he's feeling about the songs. Yeah, I don't even own one. Yeah, I mean, of course I have to use one here, and I do have a couple at my house, and I use them once in a while for whatever, on my acoustic guitar, okay? So I do have an excuse. Alright, so let's do this, the finishing act on this, because I can. All I have to do is, oops, oh, Cheryl Crow. Sorry, Cheryl. God damn, I don't want anybody to see you on my live stream. Shit, the whole world would come to an end. Here we go. Up. See if I can cut any of these strings. He is going to love this thing. This thing plays really nice. It feels really nice. I should call him and ask him if I could take it home tonight. He'd probably let me. I'm not going to bug him. He's a busy boy. I got plenty of guitars. I don't have any semi-hollow guitars at home. I'm going to clean this off. There it is. You see it right there. Dot. It is an Epiphone Dot. I have no idea why they call it dots. Maybe that. Okay, we're almost done. Aside from tomorrow, I'm going to pull the saddles off of this thing and adjust them so that I can get the intonation a little bit closer. Everything's perfect on it aside from those 2 strings. That sucks, man. Bummer. Because I'd be done with this thing. I don't know how long I've been on. How long have I been live? Oh, an hour and 20 minutes. Okay. So, there you go. Full setup, full cleaning, new strings, stretched, tuned, intonated, neck relief adjusted, pickup height adjusted, knobs fixed, solid, tightened, all that stuff. In about an hour. Literally, about an hour. Took me. There you go. Oh, is that what it was? Okay. I didn't know. So you guys have a really wonderful night. I'm probably going to go live when I get home a little later, and we'll be doing some guitar playing on there. So if anybody cares to join me on that, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock, probably more like 8 o'clock. I got to go to the pharmacy and pick up prescriptions and do diabetic type stuff, you know. But thanks for hanging with me today. Hopefully, maybe you've learned something. Oh, yeah, and I polished the frets and treated the fingerboard, too. Look at that shit. Good grief. Good Lord. All that. There we go. I don't mess around, right? Look at those frets. Yeah, all right. Everybody have a really great evening. We may see you tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to go to a live show, and I'll try and keep my phone charged or take my camera because remember that lit up Ibanez Jim, custom Ibanez Jim that I did? That guitar is going to be performing. A young man named Devon and 4 or 5 other band members are going to be playing here, and it's seldom, and it's nice. How do I say this politely? It's nice to see somebody playing rock and roll music where I live, because nobody else does. And if they do, they never play, or almost never play. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, pretty brandy, baby. All right, you guys. Randy. Peace, y'all. Have a great night. Maybe we'll see you a little bit.